Okay, so now it's about rationalization. So how do I know? It's because we see that actually we want to get rid of the denominator having a root. So most of the time when we see this type of question about simplification, the first thing that we take a look at is whether the fraction in the denominator part, whether there are any root. If yes, this is something, a hint that we should look at. So now, let's quickly take a look. So when I tackle this question, I will actually take a look of the first part first. So first of all, they're asking me to show it. So eventually, I would have to show this as my final answer. So first of all, let's dissect it in different area. So let's focus on the first part, which is 12 divided by root 2 minus 1. So in this case, when I do rationalization, remember, I would always multiply by root 2 plus 1, which is essentially just changing the symbol in between. So the reason why we do that is because if we think about the concept of a plus b multiplied by a minus b, it would essentially give you a squared minus b squared. So as simple as that, because in this way we can get rid of the root. So similarly, we would do the same on top. And the implication for this one is because if we multiply these things, it's essentially multiplied by 1. So we didn't actually change the formula structure. So now let's continue. The bottom part, as I said, I would use the concept of a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So here it would then become a squared minus b squared. So it's 2 minus 1. And on top, it would then become 12 root 2 plus 12 by expanded bracket. Then now I know this will now become 12 root 2 plus 12. Then now let's take a look at the second part of this question, which eventually is 12 root 2 plus 12 minus root 2 to the power of 5. Then think about the fact, what would then become? So if I explained it directly without using calculator, I can actually think of it as root 2 square multiplied by root 2 square multiplied by root 2. Then here, continue copying the same thing. But actually, this would be 2, this would be 2, so that's 4 root 2. And eventually, I can do the calculation, which I get this plus 12. Then now, let's take a look. It is not really the same as what the question is asking us to show. But now, let's take a look of the right-hand side, which it says is 2 root 32 plus 12. Slightly similar, we do have the plus 12, but the front part is a little bit different. But pay attention. Here, we can actually dissect it into 4 plus 8, or even further. So let's take a look at this first. So now we can root this, so now become 4 root 8 plus 12. But still, not exactly the same, because the 8 can be further dissected into 2 times 4 plus 12. Eventually, this root will become 8 root 2 plus 12. So I actually managed to prove that the left-hand side equals to the right-hand side.